Real-life creepy cases where people disappeared. 1. Amy Lynn Bradley, 1998. Background: Amy Lynn Bradley, a 23-year-old American, was on a Caribbean cruise with her family aboard the Rhapsody of the Seas, a Royal Caribbean international ship. They embarked on their trip on March 21, 1998. Disappearance: on the night of March 24th, Amy was seen by her father on the ship's deck. The next morning, she was nowhere to be found. Her family reported her missing, and the ship was immediately searched. Despite a thorough search of the vessel and the surrounding area, Amy was not found. Investigation: the cruise ship docked in Curacao, where authorities launched a search of the island and surrounding waters. Several weeks after her disappearance, a local man claimed he saw Amy in a brothel in Curacao, but authorities found no conclusive evidence. There were also reports of Amy being seen in other Caribbean locations, including the Bahamas and Puerto Rico. Evidence and theories. Possible abduction: some believe that Amy was abducted and sold into sex trafficking. Her disappearance occurred around the time when human trafficking was becoming a recognized issue, which has led some to speculate about her being forced into such a situation. Voluntary disappearance: others suggest that Amy might have disappeared voluntarily, possibly due to personal issues or a desire to start a new life. However, this theory seems less likely given her family's statements and the lack of evidence to support it. Current status: despite numerous searches and investigations, Amy Lynn Bradley has never been found. Her family continues to advocate for new leads and investigations, and the case remains open. 2. Maura Murray, 2004. Background: Maura Murray, a 21-year-old nursing student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, was known for her bright future and strong academic record. On February 9, 2004, Maura's car crashed into a snowbank on Route 112 in Haverhill, New Hampshire. Disappearance: after the crash, a passing motorist called the police, but Maura had already disappeared by the time authorities arrived. Her belongings, including her wallet and phone, were left in the car. Witnesses reported seeing her near the scene, but no one saw her leave. Investigation: the search for Maura Murray was extensive, involving local, state, and federal agencies. Despite extensive searches, including the use of dogs and helicopters, no trace of Maura was found. Several theories emerged. Abduction: some believe Maura was abducted by someone who happened upon the accident scene. Voluntary disappearance: another theory is that Maura may have left intentionally, possibly due to personal or emotional stress. Her recent behavior and actions, including her unexplained disappearance, have fueled this speculation. Accidental death: there's also the possibility that Maura met with an accident or succumbed to the elements in the remote area where she disappeared. Current status: the case remains unsolved, and Maura Murray's disappearance is one of the most baffling in recent history. Theories and speculation continue, with her family and private investigators still seeking answers. 3. Beaumont children, 1966. Background: Jane, 9, Anna, 7, and Grant Beaumont, 4, were siblings living in Adelaide, Australia. On January 26, 1966, the children went to Glenelg Beach, a popular family destination. Disappearance: the children were last seen playing on the beach. Their belongings, including towels and shoes, were found on the sand, but there was no sign of them. Despite an extensive search, no trace of the children was found. Investigation: the case became one of Australia's most notorious missing persons investigations. Several suspects emerged over the years, including convicted child predators and individuals with dubious connections. Despite numerous theories, including possible abduction and accidental death, no conclusive evidence was ever found. Evidence and theories. Abduction: many believe the children were abducted, possibly by a person or group who had been watching them. Accidental death: others speculate that the children may have accidentally drowned or been killed in an accident, with their bodies lost or hidden. Serial killer: some theories suggest that the Beaumont children were victims of a serial killer who had previously targeted other children. Current status: the Beaumont children's disappearance remains unsolved, and the case continues to intrigue and disturb the public. Despite various leads and investigations, their fate remains a mystery. 4. Flight MH370, 2014. Background: Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 was a scheduled passenger flight from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, to Beijing, China. On March 8, 2014, the plane, a Boeing 777, took off with 239 people on board. Disappearance: less than an hour after takeoff, the plane lost contact with air traffic control. Subsequent satellite data indicated that the plane deviated from its planned route and flew for several hours before crashing into the Indian Ocean. Investigation: the search for MH370 became the largest and most expensive in aviation history. Efforts were concentrated in the southern Indian Ocean, based on satellite data suggesting the plane's likely final location. Despite extensive underwater searches and analysis of debris found on Indian Ocean islands, the main wreckage of the plane was never located. Evidence and theories. Pilot action: some speculate that the plane's disappearance could be due to actions taken by the pilot or crew, including possible hijacking or deliberate crash. Mechanical failure: another theory is that a catastrophic mechanical failure could have caused the plane to go off course and eventually crash. Hijacking: there's also speculation that the plane might have been hijacked, either by passengers or external actors. Current status: the search for MH370 was officially suspended in 2018, but the case continues to generate interest and speculation. The disappearance remains one of the greatest mysteries in aviation history, with ongoing discussions and theories about what might have happened. 5. The disappearance of Jim Thompson, 1967. Background: Jim Thompson was an American businessman known as the Silk King for his role in revitalizing the Thai silk industry. On March 26, 1967, Thompson went on a walk in the Cameron Highlands, Malaysia, where he was staying on vacation. Disappearance: Thompson never returned from his walk. Despite extensive searches in the surrounding forests and mountains, no trace of him was found. His disappearance was particularly baffling because he was an experienced traveler and was known to be in good health. Investigation: initial investigations focused on the possibility of an accident or foul play. There were theories suggesting he could have been kidnapped or murdered due to his high-profile business connections, but no evidence supported these claims. Speculation also included the possibility of him being lost or experiencing a medical emergency. Current status: the case remains unsolved, and Thompson's disappearance has become a lasting mystery in the region. Various theories continue to circulate, but no conclusive evidence has emerged. 6. The disappearance of Brandon Swanson, 2008. Background: Brandon Swanson, a 19-year-old college student, was driving home from a party in Minnesota on May 14, 2008. He called his parents to report that he had driven into a ditch and was stuck. Disappearance: during the call, Swanson reported that he was walking to find help. His parents arrived at the scene of the accident but couldn't find him. Swanson continued to speak with his parents on the phone for nearly an hour, describing his surroundings, but his location remained unclear. He vanished without a trace. Investigation: a massive search was conducted, including the use of tracking dogs and aerial searches, but no trace of Brandon was found. The investigation suggested that he might have been disoriented and wandered into a hazardous area or met with foul play. Current status: the case remains unsolved, and Brandon Swanson's disappearance is considered one of the most perplexing missing person cases in Minnesota. 7. The disappearance of Kristen Smart, 1996. Background: Kristen Smart, a 19-year-old college student, disappeared on May 25, 1996, after attending a party at California Polytechnic State University in San Luis Obispo. Disappearance: Smart was last seen walking home from the party in the early hours of the morning. Witnesses reported that she was in the company of a fellow student, Paul Flores, who had been seen with her but later became a prime suspect. Her belongings, including her backpack, were left behind. Investigation: despite extensive searches and media coverage, no concrete evidence was found. Paul Flores was repeatedly questioned but maintained his innocence. Various theories suggest Smart was abducted or murdered, and there were accusations that Flores might have been involved. Current status: in April 2021, Paul Flores was arrested and charged with Smart's murder, along with his father, Ruben Flores, who was accused of helping to hide the body. The case is ongoing, and Kristen Smart's remains have not yet been found. 8. The disappearance of the Sodder children, 1945. Background: on Christmas Eve 1945, the Sodder family home in Fayetteville, West Virginia, caught fire. 5 of the 10 Sodder children, Maurice, 14, Louis, 9, Martha, 12, Jenny, 8, and Betty, 5, were missing after the fire. Disappearance: despite the fire being extinguished and an extensive search of the area, the 5 children were never found. The fire department found no trace of the children's remains, leading to suspicions that they may have been abducted. Investigation: the Sodder family received several mysterious letters and phone calls in the years following the fire, some suggesting that the children were alive and living elsewhere. Theories include abduction, accidental death, or even sabotage. Current status: the case remains unsolved, and the Sodder family's search for answers continued for years. The disappearance of the Sodder children remains one of the most enigmatic missing person cases in American history. 9. The disappearance of Etten Patz, 1979. Background: Etten Patz was a 6-year-old boy who disappeared on May 25, 1979, while walking to his school bus stop in New York City. Disappearance: Etten was last seen walking alone to his bus stop on a busy Manhattan street. Despite a massive search effort and widespread media coverage, he was never found. His case became one of the first to receive national attention, leading to the creation of National Missing Children's Day. Investigation: over the years, several suspects were investigated, including Pedro Hernandez, who confessed to the murder in 2012. Hernandez's confession included details of the crime, but it was initially dismissed as unreliable. However, further investigation and evidence led to his conviction in 2017. Current status: Pedro Hernandez was found guilty of kidnapping and murdering Etten Patz, but Etten's body was never recovered. The case remains a significant and tragic example of a missing child investigation. Each of these cases is marked by its own set of mysteries and unanswered questions, contributing to the overall sense of unease and intrigue surrounding them.
Don't forget to subscribe.